it's the furthest thing from reality that the MCU has ever done, but it's
Yes.
also the closest thing to reality they've ever done.
That let me just tell you, Ryan, that was the deepest thing you have ever said on this channel so far.
It's but think about it, right?
And that's what this show is doing. We get real deep and philosophical. We'll do our therapy episode next episode.
we can jump right in. We
Okay.
can jump right in. Are you a love story kind of guy?
I could be a love story kind of guy, of course. I'm a hopeless romantic at heart.
This episode crushed my heart.
Yeah.
It crushed my heart. And let me tell you something
Did,
about the
did you cry
Marvel.
a grown man tear?
I did. I did shed a tear.
Okay,
I did
perfect.
shed a
Perfect.
tear. I did shed a tear. I didn't shed a tear. That's a lie. But I wanted to.
I was
I
gonna say,
wanted
damn
to.
you, Marvel, you got another grown man
Let
tear.
me.
Yeah.
But I mean, I love flashback. I love flashback episodes. I love
Yeah.
flashback movies. I love movies where they make you where they make you understand why someone is the way they are.
Yeah.
And so far in all the Marvel movies, we really haven't gotten a lot of who Wanda really is, right? Like we've gotten a lot of dialogue. This is where we came from. We were made
Yeah.
by this. We were made by that. But this episode, in 35 minutes, fleshed her out so well.
And I feel like they did so much with this episode. It was one of the first episodes that actually felt like, oh wow, this felt like 50 minutes. This felt
it
like
did.
a 1 hour type of
It
episode
did.
when none of them are going to get anywhere near that kind of a runtime.
It was great. So I
Yeah.
mean, we see Agatha and so we see Agatha in the Salem witch trials, which I don't know how I felt about that. I think I told you before I had a couple of reservations
Yeah.
about so I loved it, but seeing Agatha in the Salem witch trials, maybe it's just me. I think that I didn't need to see that. Like I feel like that
I can
was
tell you that was the I did not like Agatha until this episode. I'm a huge Halloween guy, so witches, Salem, I love the way it started. I love that little piece of it. The fact that we date back, like, okay, we're establishing her character as back all the way to the 1600s, and is she actually a good character who is just being manipulated by this dark magic? She had to kill her mother, kill everybody at that point. So I was like, okay, I'm intrigued to see where this goes because up to now, I wasn't really digging her character that much.
but so we have that scene, and then pretty much we go through a series of events into Wanda's past. Which flashback resonated with you the most?
I really do like the very first one where she
Hmm.
was a kid. I think I've seen a lot of people allude to the fact that we probably are seeing this told in the form of sitcoms because as a child she probably grew up watching a lot of American sitcoms, and I think a lot of people, not only as kids but like even in the pandemic times and things like that, sitcoms and just these goofy American shows, people throw themselves into it to escape. And I think that kind of sets up the heartbreak, right? You live in such a harsh world that you're just glad to get some TV to relax and to drift away to. So I think that was probably the one that resonated most with me because it also sets up how heartbreaking this next episode is going to be. I feel like we've talked about it. I don't think the last episode will be tied up, and I don't think it's going to have a happy ending. So just kind of seeing how far back the struggles and the trauma in her life go, all the way from childhood to just lost, hard life, and now where we're going to head, that's the part that resonated with me. What about you?
I think the first scene resonated with me the most just because it that I think that more than any other scene wrapped up and kind of shed more light on the entire series as a whole than any of the other flashbacks that we got, right? Like it made sense why we're getting these sitcoms. That's where we get the kind of the hint that she's actually been a witch this whole time. And again, I go back to what what I've been kind of alluding to. are they going to spin this as she's actually a mutant, right? Like
Yeah.
she wasn't created from the Infinity Stone like we all thought. She's had this ability since she was born. This is what I think I was a little confused about this. Was she controlling the stone when it popped out, or did the
I didn't
stone
know
call
if the
out to
stone,
her?
I feel like the stone was calling out to her,
Okay.
but I feel like it could go either way.
I don't know, that scene was just something else. That gave me a lot of questions.
Yeah.
What's going on? Who's this person that she saw? Is that the Scarlet Witch, or is that one? Like who who knows?
And I can tell you, so one of the cool things that I like that we got an answer for was, I can't remember what episode they released it. I think it was maybe 3, where they kind of manipulated what we as the audience got to see. We were led to believe that Scarlet, I mean, sorry, Scarlet, yes, now, but the sorceress formerly known as Wanda, she's now Scarlet Witch. Um, so they showed her kind of storming the compound and breaking in and taking Vision's body and getting the hell out of there. And now you see it
Is it
really
Hayward?
did.
Is it Hayward? Hayward's the name, right?
Hayward, man, that guy is
Hayward
an
is it,
asshole. He gets worse every damn episode.
he is awful.
Yeah,
Like Wanda shows up. Yeah, look, I just want to get Vision to bury. I just want to bury him. That's all I want. Just give me
yeah.
the body. I'm bury him. Hey man, I can't let you ride off with this $3 billion. You like either you're gonna bring him back to life
I know you
or
love him, but he's a weapon.
he's a
So
weapon. So I mean, oh, he's back there. You can go take a look. I mean, I'm not going to give you a warning on what's going on back there. You can just go check it out
I
yourself.
mean, I'm not saying I know where he is, but if you turn around, there's a gigantic glass that you can look through. Maybe you just take a peek on down there and see what we're doing in secret.
That was the worst. The whole time I was like, I know he is not about to just let this grieving woman see her man
Yeah,
split up into pieces
yeah.
without giving her any kind of war. What is this? I mean, you said you wanted to see him. Like, like, yeah, but not like this.
I mean, all I'm
Like,
hearing, Ryan, is that he's got sound logic. You want to see it? We got a glass wall. Go ahead and see it. Just turn around. So you talked about it early, man. The thing that Marvel does so well are callbacks to previous films, right? So that line where she is talking to
yep,
the the non-working head of Vision at this point, the just the head of Vision, and she says, "I can't feel you," which is a spin on that line that she had in Infinity War. They brought that back, and we said, I can't feel you," and that was like, another gut punch. And I got to tell you, this episode, I mean, I've seen it before in other episodes, but this episode, just getting to see how many flashbacks, how many different things we did, I think that Elizabeth Olsen is easily the best actor or actress in the entire MCU right
I could see Elizabeth Olsen being nominated for something.
now.
And
Yeah,
you know what it is? It's the range. It's
yeah,
the range. She has literally killed every performance in every era
yeah,
that they have been in, and it has been believable.
yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised if we're saying this about a lot of the actors and actresses that we're going to be seeing in these MCU shows.
yeah.
You can flesh out, there's more you can do with TV than you can do in movies. I mean, really think about everything we've gotten in 9 episodes.
Yeah.
Like, you
We,
take,
we haven't even got the full 9 yet. We still have one more to
still have
go.
one more left. I think the other thing too, no one in the MCU has ever, they haven't put their characters in a position to go through this kind of trauma. Like, like there are characters that have gone through trauma, right? Like, Spider-Man, right? He
Yeah.
lost, and Far From Home, he was, come reeling from the death of Tony Stark. But it's Spider-Man movie, right? That's going to be
Yeah.
lighthearted no matter what you do. We are really exploring real trauma, so
Adult
much
grief.
so that you are literally creating a fake reality to cope with what you are going through.
I mean,
That's
let's get deep for a moment, Ryan. Isn't that what we all do in some way, shape, or form these days?
well, that's
I just
the
don't have a
thing.
superpower to actually build mine, or else it would have already been
Well,
built.
that's the thing, right? Like this series more than ever, and I'm going to say something really crazy. It's the furthest thing from reality that the MCU has ever done, but it's
Yes.
also the closest thing to reality they've ever done.
That let me just tell you, Ryan, that was the deepest thing you have ever said on this channel so far.
It's but think about it, right?
And
Like
that's what this show is doing. We get real deep and philosophical. We'll do our therapy episode next episode.
this was the gut punch for me. The property, Vision purchased property for them to live
A
at,
home to grow
a
old in
home to
with a
grow.
little hand-drawn heart. Yeah, that was rough, man.
That was rough, and that is how this all started. She just couldn't control it. The grief just came out,
Yeah.
and we got the hex.
And I love that visual. And I mean, I'm sure they meant to do it this way, but I mean, he and this hex were literally born out of a broken heart. That's kind of the inception of everything, right? So it's like literally and figuratively shown visually. So this show is doing so many things well when it comes to storytelling. I think if you got close to crying a grown man Marvel tear in this episode, I think next week they'll be able to bring it out of you.
Yeah,
I
so
have my
we'll.
tissues ready.
So nine, you all let us know what you all thought about episode 8 in the comments, and until next time.